What if I told you Lionel Messi is about to do something he's never done in his entire career in a preseason match? Sounds impossible, right? But here's the problem. Most people think these games don't matter. And that mindset is hiding a massive moment in football history. Because when Messi steps on the pitch, even preparation turns into pressure, drama, and destiny. In the next few seconds, I'll show you why this friendly could change how we see Messi legacy forever. And trust me, the final twist is something no one is ready for. We'll explain everything in this video, step by step, don't skip it. Football fans, buckle in, because Lionel Messi is about to do something he's never done before, and it's happening in an Inter Miami. Pre-season clash that's suddenly feeling anything but friendly. Yes, pre-season, but with Messi involved. There's no such thing as low stakes. Picture this. A player who has conquered Europe, lifted World Cups, shattered records, silenced stadiums, and turned pressure into poetry, now standing on the edge of a brand new milestone. A career first, this stage of his legendary journey, in pink, in Miami. Who saw that coming? This isn't just another warm-up game. This is Messi testing himself again. New teammates, new systems, new expectations. Remember, this is a man who doesn't need to prove anything, yet somehow still chooses to. That's the drama. That's the obsession. That's the greatness. Inter Miami's preseason has been about grinding, experimenting, and answering uncomfortable questions. Can this team evolve? Can they surprise? And most importantly, can they rise with Messi leading the charge from minute one? The pressure's on, the spotlight's blazing, and every touch could whisper history. And let's be honest, opponents know it too. No one wants to be on the wrong end of a Messi first. One sudden burst, one perfectly weighted pass, one moment of magic, and boom, you're. A trivia question forever. There's humour in it as well, because how is it fit? That pre-season defenders are just trying to get match fitness, and suddenly they're chasing the greatest footballer of all time, chasing a brand new achievement. Welcome to football, folks. So keep your eyes glued, watch the body language, feel the tension. Because this match might look like preparation on paper, but on the pitch, it could be another unforgettable chapter in a career that refuses to slow down. And here's the real question. What exactly is this career first, and how will Messi pull it off? Stay right here. You won't want to miss the moment history decides to show up early. Lionel Messi standing on the brink of a career-first milestone in an Inter Miami preseason match is the kind of football irony that only this sport can produce. A player who has rewritten history books across Europe, dominated international football, and collected trophies like souvenirs is now finding new ground in what many would casually label a friendly. But with Messi, there is no such thing as ordinary. This moment carries weight because it highlights how his journey continues to evolve, even at a stage where legends are expected to slow down, take fewer risks, and simply enjoy the applause. Instead, Messi is once again stepping into unfamiliar territory, reminding everyone that his story is still being written. In unexpected places, this potential career-first achievement is not about numbers alone. It is about context. It's about Messi adapting to a new footballing culture, a different rhythm, and a league that watches his every move with a mix of awe and disbelief. Inter Miami's preseason setup may seem like preparation on the surface, but for Messi, it becomes another canvas. Every training session, every preseason appearance, every experimental lineup now carries the possibility of history because he is involved. That is the gravity he brings. A milestone reached here does not diminish his past achievements. It adds another layer to a career defined by constant reinvention. There is also a deeper narrative of pressure hidden beneath the excitement. Pre-season matches are meant for fitness, for tactical testing, for shaking off rust. Yet when Messi steps onto the pitch, expectations skyrocket instantly. Fans expect magic, opponents prepare for survival, and teammates look for leadership. Achieving a career-first milestone in such a setting underlines his ability to turn low-stakes environments into globally watched events. It reflects a mindset that refuses to switch off, even when the competitive edge is supposedly dialed down. Drama intensifies because this milestone arrives far from the traditional powerhouses where Messi built his legend. It is happening in a new project, with a team still finding its identity, in a league eager to prove itself on the world stage. That contrast amplifies the significance. Messi is not chasing this moment in a Champions League final or a World Cup knockout match. He is discovering it in a pre-season clash, surrounded by experimentation and uncertainty. That unpredictability is what makes it compelling. Ultimately, this career-first moment represents continuity rather than closure. It shows that Messi's greatness is not confined to specific tournaments, stadiums, or eras. It follows him wherever he plays, reshaping the importance of every match he touches, turning preparation into anticipation and routine into possibility as fans wait to see how this new chapter bends the familiar rules of football once again. The match serves as a revealing checkpoint for Inter Miami's evolution, with Lionel Messi at the center of a project that is still defining itself. Preseason is traditionally the time for loose structures, experimental combinations, and quiet assessment behind the scenes. But with Messi involved, those internal tests become public examinations. Every movement, every tactical adjustment, and every positional tweak is magnified, not just because of who Messi is, but because of what his presence demands from the entire team. Inter Miami is no longer judged solely on results. It is judged on growth, cohesion, and whether it looks capable of matching the ambition that arrived with him. Messi's role in this process goes far beyond goals and assists. He becomes the reference point around which the team's identity is built. Younger players adjust their positioning instinctively, and midfielders look for sharper angles, and attackers time their runs with greater belief. The pre-season clash becomes a laboratory where Inter Miami experiments with how far it can stretch its tactical limits while keeping Messi comfortable and influential. This balancing act is crucial because building around a generational talent is as much about discipline as it is about freedom. There is pressure hidden in these moments, even without competitive stakes. The club is trying to prove that it is not simply a highlight reel powered by one superstar, but a functional unit capable of sustaining success. Pre-season matches expose weaknesses brutally, gaps in defence, misunderstanding in midfield, and moments of hesitation that elite teams punish instantly. With Messi orchestrating play, those flaws become clearer, but so do the possibilities. When combinations click, even briefly, they offer a glimpse of what Inter Miami could become when everything aligns. This test is also psychological. Playing alongside Messi raises standards automatically. Training intensity increases, decision-making speeds up, and excuses disappear. Pre-season is where habits are formed, and Messi's presence accelerates that process. Teammates are not just preparing for the season, they are adapting to a new level of expectation. The clash becomes less about the opponent and more about whether Inter Miami can meet its own internal benchmarks. From the outside, fans and analysts are watching closely, not for the final score, but for signs of evolution. Are the transitions smoother? Does the team press with purpose? Can they control tempo instead of reacting to it? Messi's involvement turns these questions into storylines because his influence makes progress visible. The pre-season stage becomes a preview of ambition, a snapshot of how far the team has come and how far it still needs to go, with Messi guiding the experiment through instinct, experience, and an understanding of the game that continues to raise the ceiling around him. Despite having nothing left to prove, Lionel Messi's relentless hunger for greatness continues to define every phase of his career, and this pre-season moment with Inter Miami is another reflection of that inner drive. Most players, after conquering club football, international glory and individual honours, would ease into the later chapters of their journey, choosing comfort over challenge. Messi has done the opposite. He keeps placing himself in situations that demand adaptation, responsibility, and leadership in RT because he needs validation, but because his relationship with football has always been about growth rather than security. This mindset explains why a pre-season clash can still carry significance for him. Messi approaches preparation with the same intensity as competition treats every minute on the pitch as an opportunity to refine, connect, and influence. His hunger shows in small details, the way he drops deep to demand the ball, the quick glance before releasing a pass, the insistence on repeating movements until timing feels natural. These are not habits of a player coasting on reputation. They are signs of someone still chasing an internal standard that rarely settles. The drive for greatness also manifests in how he leads without theatrics. Messi does not motivate through speeches or gestures, he does it through example. In training and pre-season matches, teammates see a player who still presses, still tracks back, still reacts with frustration when a sequence breaks down. That intensity sets the tone. When the greatest player of his generation refuses to switch off, it becomes impossible for others to treat the moment casually. His hunger quietly reshapes the culture around him. There is also an emotional layer to this pursuit. Moving to a new environment later in his career could have been a victory lap, but Messi has turned it into another test. New teammates, new expectations, and a league eager to measure itself against his brilliance create fresh pressure. Instead of avoiding that weight, he absorbs it. That choice reveals a competitor who values relevance and challenge over comfort, someone who wants his football to remain meaningful, not ceremonial. This relentless hunger is what keeps adding chapters to his story. Career-first moments, even in pre-season, are not accidents. They are the byproducts of engagement. Messi stays involved mentally and physically in ways that invite new possibilities. He doesn't play to protect his legacy, he plays to extend it. That mentality keeps fans watching and opponents wary because they understand that even now, Messi's not finished exploring what he can become in different colours, different systems and different contexts, driven by a passion that refuses to recognise an ending. The pre-season clash carries an unexpected level of pressure and drama, transforming what should be a routine warm-up into a moment charged with tension and narrative weight. On paper, these matches are designed for experimentation, fitness and quiet adjustments, but the presence of Lionel Messi changes the emotional temperature instantly. Every action becomes a storyline, every sequence a potential talking point. And suddenly the atmosphere feels closer to a competitive fixture than a preparatory exercise. That contrast is where the drama is born, in the gap between what the match is supposed to be and what it actually becomes. Opponents step onto the pitch knowing this is not just another pre-season game. Or them, it is an opportunity wrapped in anxiety, lapse in concentration, one misplaced step, and they risk being remembered for conceding a historic moment. That awareness sharpens challenges, tightens marking, and fuels a kind of pressure that pre-season football rarely produces. Players who are still building match fitness find themselves mentally locked in, because facing Messi removes the luxury of casual mistakes. The drama is subtle but constant, living in every duel and defensive decision. For Inter Miami, the pressure takes a different shape. The team is balancing expectation with reality, ambition with development. With Messi involved, even experimental lineups are judges' statements. Supporters and analysts read meaning into positioning, tempo and chemistry, searching for signs of progress or warning signals. A simple miscommunication can spark debate, while a smooth passing sequence ignites excitement. The pre-season stage magnifies everything, turning minor details into symbols of where the project stands. There is also drama in the emotional rhythm of the match itself. Pre-season games often drift, with substitutions breaking flow and intensity fluctuating. Yet, with Messi on the field, moments of calm can suddenly explode into anticipation. A drop of the shoulder, a quick exchange near the box, and the stadium collectively leans forward. That unpredictability keeps tension alive, because history feels possible at any second. Fans know they might witness nothing unique, even when the match context suggests otherwise. This unexpected pressure reveals how Messi reshapes football environments simply by existing within them. The preseason clash becomes a space where preparation meets performance, where routine meets relevance. Players feel it, fans sense it, and the match carries a seriousness that defies its label. The drama does not come from trophies or points on the line, but from the awareness that something memorable could unfold at a moment, turning a simple pre-season evening into a chapter that lingers in conversation and memory. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe.